has gotten much cooler these past few weeks, but it's so much better than the heat wave we experienced in the midsummer here in Toulouse. Now the colors of the leaves, grass, and trees has returned as if for a re-blossom just before the fall. I'm not really sure when the fall actually happens here, because currently it feels like September in Ontario. Still, I enjoy being able to go out and get a couple of swims and walks in before the coolness of the evening arrives. Last week, I went to a city just outside of Barcelona to complete my diving certificates. This was my second time diving in deep waters, but my first in the ocean. After warming up and practicing some mermaid tricks in the pool, we headed to the ocean to see how I managed there. I was already getting a bit tired from the first half of the day, but after a fruit, water, and some light stretching, I was ready to go again. The highlight of the dive was when I felt my most comfortable. I was perfectly buoyant, just taking in the most calm, blue sights I've ever seen. I was able to swim just beyond 10 meters, and while that was still shallow for my breath hold, it was an amazing accomplishment. I thought that, because of my disability and chronic nerve damage, that it would be difficult or maybe even impossible to complete. But it turns out, it was the greatest I ever felt while underwater in my entire life. I even shed some tears of joy with my instructor, who was exceptionally understanding, knowledgeable, and charismatic. I expressed my fears and worries, but that I was incredibly proud of myself for having the courage to do this. Because of my experience with him, his entire team, and being embraced by the ocean, I knew this is a path that I definitely want to take.
That was awesome.
You may have noticed my website has changed just a bit, and it is simply because this is a new journey that I am embarking on. I will be posting more about my mermaiding adventures and what it brings us. We have so many plans and visions for this new life, and I'm hoping it brings in more opportunities, experiences, and joy than ever before. Hoping to see you again soon. Adios.
Diving in the Mediterranean was phenomenal. I don't have any proper descriptive words than what I used in my journal this week. I was surrounded by blue, and I mean a vast, infinite blue. I would not ever not recommend the dive to anyone. It is the greatest feeling ever. I was afraid of like shadows that were far down. I thought maybe I'm going to encounter a jellyfish or something that I don't want to see or don't want to interact with, but they're correct when they say the animals mind their own business. It's the humans that cause problems. If you ever see anything happen, the human does something, whether intentionally or not intentionally. Animals don't go seeking trouble. But it is phenomenal down there. And so because of this new journey I'm on, because I want to create what I want to create and both in craft wise and in my own business to make my own tails and suits and all this kind of stuff, it's very, very fitting for what I want to do. And someday in the future, I will host these gorgeous expeditions. Well, you can call it a retreat, but I love the term expedition, to be able to go and explore and see communities, and not just the touristy part, but to actually embed ourselves in the culture and find out what diving means to this culture, what the animals are like around here, what the plants are like around here, and how we can work together to improve the lives of those who live there, not just the humans, but the animals too. So anyway, let's just say good things are coming, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Like, really, really looking forward to it. Currently, I am revamping my website, so if you've noticed that my art isn't up anymore, or you can't find certain products, or you can't find certain information about myself, you can always just email me if you have any questions. But for now, I am revamping my website and may or may not be releasing it around the holidays. Not sure. Until then, I am still on Instagram and on TikTok. You can find me at Mermaid Tales, MERMADETALES. And you can follow me there, ask me any questions there if you like. And I post pretty consistently. So you can get like really cool updates that are there. And then on my Instagram only, I tend to post behind the scenes of what I'm actually working on, the things that you might not see that is on my feed. You will actually see me working on my projects behind the scenes, things like my workshops, my failures, lots of failures, lots of mistakes. So yeah, you can follow me there and see if it's something you're interested in. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Enjoy.